All right, Shalom. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua, by Shem Rakah Gadash, and double honors to the apostles of GMS, and a sincere Shalom to the brothers out here pushing this truth and sincerity. And I want to go into the topic about being, not being part of this world, not even just part of this world. This is mostly going into these Christians and other false camps out here because they you can see the resemblance in them, and you can see that one or the other does no different from one or the other. And what I'm trying to, or what we're even out there doing, is not to preach not to be like these hypocrites, to show you the difference between not even what we not, to show you the difference between what we say and what they say. And why I say that is because we will tell you the truth. We will tell you what you need to do, or what's to come. They won't. They'll teach you some other crazy mess, and it won't make sense. They'll teach you to wake up and build in this place while we're telling you to to wake up and be prepared for this place to fall, because we know that Esau is going to collapse this place. We know this place is going to burn. So what we're telling you is to wake up from the madness, to show you that there's something more to this place than the illusionary curtain has to pull out. They'll tell you the things that you want to hear, so you can be comfortable. You'll be a part of the group, and that's it. Build in this place, and you'll everything's fine. When building in this place is actually what's making this place worse. So I'm gonna start off with the first scripture. This is Romans 12:2. And it says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may have proof, so that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh." So I'm gonna backtrack to the first part where it says, "And be not conformed to this world." When it says "be not conformed to this world," it means be not part of this world. Why? Because this world sees everything the same. Each person is going to see the same thing as the other person. Not in each madness leads to another madness, and they just follow and keep going and keep going. Like you see everybody on an everyday basis, what basically doing the same thing. Churches will teach God loves everybody. Wake up and build and come to God and pay your tithes. These other false Israelite camps, wake up, build in this place, pay your tithes, the same thing. They'll do the exact same thing. They might word it differently, but when you really listen to it, it's the exact same thing. We're over here telling you we're gonna complete we're over here saying something totally different. We're saying to wake up the elect, not everybody. Wake up the elect. We're teaching it not only the downfall of Esau, but we're telling them that 2/3 of our people are going to die too. We ain't telling people to build in this place. If they want to build in this place, go ahead. But as for of the elect, none of the elect is going to build in this place. Why? Because this place is going to be rubble. Your average Joe can go ahead and build in this place. Average Jake, 2/3 Jakes, go ahead and build in this place if you want. But we're telling the elect to build up, and not to build up in Yahushua, to be ready to get out of this place. And it says, "But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." So when you are told to be transformed by the renewing of your mind, to renew means to do again, to renew something that is new. So when we come into this truth, we come into this truth to renew our minds, not further corrupted. Because these are like Israelite camps that want to be out here preaching about they're all for Yahweh Shah, they're supposed to be renewed. But as you can see, once you once they came in, they still kept that old spirit going on. So how do you tell? Even when we was back into the world, because not many of us was born into this truth. But a lot of us that was outside of this truth, that before we came in, I would even say for them, we was all messed up. We followed the ways of Babylon. We followed the social media. We followed entertainment. We followed eating pork and so on and so forth. Eating, doing the things of Esau. But here you have these guys that want to come up and say they're for Yahweh Shah, and they're reading the Bible, and they're tired of reading everything. They just going based off what they say. I mean, what they think it is. They're not renewed in the mind. You can still see that they're doing the exact same thing these other Christians are doing. When we come into this truth and we actually read and study this Bible, we see that it wants us to wake up from this madness. It wants us to be different. It wants us not to be the same as this world is. So I got the definition of different right here, and everybody knows what different is. But hey, for edification, it says partly or totally unlike in nature, form or quality. See, see what people will say, that people will lump us all together just because we out there holding Bibles. But we teach something totally different. We're unlike in not only nature or form, but quality. In our quality, we don't teach the same thing as these other guys do. We would not tell you to build up in this place. We would not tell you it's okay to sleep with another man's woman. We won't tell you those things. Why? Because that is complete. That is a complete lie. That we're different in quality, which means we don't accept what these people are for. So I got Matthew 6:5 real quick. It says, "And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are." So if we're out here to wake up the elect, preach the downfall of Babylon, tell our people, telling people that fates, or telling that 2/3 of our people are going to die, what do we look like telling, working with another group that believes that you could build in this place, where you can call the Lord anything you want, or going to a church and agreeing with everything they say? That makes us hypocrites. That solely makes us hypocrites. That would mean that what we're doing out there is completely for nothing. That we're just really actually aiding Esau. But here we're against Esau. So it says, "For they love to pray, standing in synagogues and in corners of the streets, that may be seen of men." And that's what they do to you, not to you, but that's what they do out there when they try to they like a couple years back. I seen some guys, some pastors out there outside on, what was it, box, two boxes, two crates, and they were blowing horns to get their word across, and they just out there to just gather people, gather them inside their churches. Same thing with these other guys that want to be out here to gather people and get be seen in men, gather views. It's the exact same thing. We're not out here for everybody. We're out here basically to condemn a lot of these people and to only wake up the elect. That is the only sole purpose out there. But if you're out there trying to wake up people, building this place, just like these churches are doing, that's why they have their own church, but then they'll go outside and do the same thing as we're doing. They didn't start doing that till we started doing it. So they're out there to basically gather people. We're only out to gather the elect. Not just anybody can come into this truth and say they love Yahweh. It doesn't work that way. And we're not even sure if we're out there elect. So we're on the tight edge as it is. So actually, I'm gonna skip down to verse 7. Actually, no, I'm gonna skip to 6. And it says, but thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet. That means pretty much be alone. And when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret. These these churches ain't doing that. They'll pray. They'll all come into a building, all hold hands and pray at the same time. But it says, pray to thy Father, which is in secret. They praying to the Father which for them is in the open, which means they're playing themselves. They lied to people. They don't read the scriptures. The pastor would read 2 3 scriptures and that's it. They don't do no they don't do no actual studying. They do what Esau tells them to do because they got to follow curriculum. So I'm gonna go down to 7, but it says, but when ye pray, use not vain repetitions as the heathens do, for they think they shall be heard for their much speaking, and it tells it right there. It just it completely says. I don't even need to go into that, but I will anyways. This is when you pray, use not vain repetitions. We're not. You got these guys out here that'll just be like, oh, we're gonna. They got into arguments about us, and the number one thing they like to pop up with, where's your views? Where's your views? It's just like, what does views had to do with waking up the elect? Especially guys that's been into this truth. They knew what we was about. Then they gone off and now they want to talk a bunch of crap and ask, what about our views? We can care less about the views. Heck, the least amount of views might be the most sincerest ones compared to all these tons of 10,000 views you may think you have or that you may have, and none of them are sincere because a lot of our people are wicked, and the same people you're trying to go out there and wake up or try to get these views from are wicked, which means you're not doing this out of sincerity of the Lord. You're doing this out of your own vain reputation, out of your own gain. And it even says it right here, for they think they shall be heard for their much speaking. So you think you're being heard by all these tons of people that you get views from, but none of them really care about what you do. They just like the drama you kick up, and that's a lot of our people. Even I can't, I won't lie. That's even guilty for ourselves. Our people love drama. That's why we're the most warrior-like people out here. And I'm not talking about just Judah. I'm talking about all the 12 tribes. We all like a hint of drama. I can't say I don't. When I see a fight kick off, especially in the show, I'm like, yeah, go ahead, kick his ass. But it's just like, in its truth, we gotta be different from that. We don't come out here just to stir up a whole bunch of controversy. We out here to solely do our job. Whatever we like on the side, we do on the side later. If we like watching controversy, it doesn't matter. But so long as we're doing our job, that's the most important part. But that's pretty much all I wanted to go into because the people like to lump us in together when we're totally different. So with that, I just want to say Shalom and death to Babylon.